That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet, when you could not prove anyone right or wrong.
All the expertise was contained in the people involved with the conversation. I'm Peter.
I'm Cecil, and I hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, "That don't sound right," send us a comment. You're one of us. So tonight's episode is going to be a little different. There's no power in the TDSR studios here in Camel City, so I was a little limited in our editing, but I hope you enjoy the episode anyway. Everybody stay safe, stay dry, but and hopefully the power's back on soon. So thanks. Hey, welcome back to That Don't Sound Right. I'm Cecil.
Hey, this is Peter. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Want to give a shout out to the whole community, the That Don't Sound Right community. Thanks for listening again. Thanks for being with us on another, Sunday or Saturday. Maybe you listen to it Tuesday.
Yeah.
A week later. But hey, thanks for being here. And hey, get another shout out to our Canadian listenership.
It's great. Y'all keep listening. Buy a t-shirt, spread it around up there in Canada.
We might have more listeners in Canada than the United States when the year's out.
That'd be awesome.
So this is season number 2, right? We're going to call this season number 2.
Well, we were talking about that. So we're in season number 2. We were in season number 2.
Okay.
We may go ahead and have season number 3 be in September.
Okay.
On the anniversary of the first live episode.
I got you. That's
maybe we should switch it on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Not that any of our podcast platforms really count that, right? Do we have that?
No, it doesn't. It's
together?
Completely arbitrary. I try to keep them in a season just for organizational.
I got you.
But they don't. It doesn't. We can name it whatever we want to name it.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, we'll see if we can get that arranged on the website.
Yep. And back in the Camel City studios in Camel City, which is always fun.
Always fun to be here, sipping on our favorite beverage.
Yeah. If you get a chance, go and get one of these pint glasses from That Don't Sound Right. We're still working on some of the design on that, but
yeah, we're working out the details, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they turned out okay.
I mean, it's something to sit down and have a drink with a friend.
So last time we were talking about cryptozoology.
Yes.
And I have got a cryptid. Is it a cryptid?
A cryptid.
A cryptid.
Cryptid.
I've gotten a cryptid story.
Thanks again, Mac, for all the information you provided on that last episode.
So this one, this was a personal story.
Okay.
Of an cryptid.
Okay.
So before I do that, we have a listener in the mountains who gave me a great jury story.
No kidding.
So episode 52, we talked about being on a jury.
Right.
So
you talked about you being on the jury.
Well, I talked about me being on the jury. Yeah, almost getting on the jury. There's been some jury stories after that. Actually, one of the people that were at the live episodes got jury duty a few days after the live episode.
No, who did?
Listener number one's daughter.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, got jury duty.
Did she have to sit?
I hadn't heard.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Episode or mailbag.
I told her to smile big.
Oh, that's one way to get off. That's one way to get dismissed.
But I got an email that had a great jury story.
All right.
From somebody that wanted to be there. So when we do the mailbag, we'll tell that jury story.
Yeah, we're due for a mailbag.
We are due for a mailbag.
So we got jury. I think we've got talk about gluing air tags to exotic pets.
And there's some bear stories. There's some follow-up stories about the dog tracker. Got more mail about the dog tracker than anything.
That's true. But who would have thought?
That was a very thought-provoking episode for me, anyway. So
your story of the cryptid.
Yeah. So my family, I am originally from Cary, but my parents are originally from Bladen County. So if you don't know where Bladen County is,
you're going to do a quick
geography. Yeah. So Bladen County is in North Carolina. But this is a state, this is a county that will be in the southeastern part of the state, near the coast.
Oh, is it that?
Yeah, so it's not,
Okay.
Yeah, it's southeast. So close to the South Carolina border, close to the coast of North Carolina. It's called Bladen County.
Is it, say, one county off of the same county Wilmington's in?
Yeah, I think it's probably one county over.
Okay.
Something like that. So it's not far from Wilmington. And on the Cape Fear River kind of goes through there, and the Lumber River is in that area over in Robinson County. And it's a very swampy area, the Big Swamp. And the big swamps in there, I think there's the Green Swamp, the Crawley Swamp. And so my mom grew up in town. My dad grew up out in what we call the country, out in a place called Hickory Grove.
You all right?
So Hickory Grove does have it's on the border of a big swamp. It's called the Big Swamp. Aptly named.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of hickory trees? I mean, I hear the word Hickory Grove.
Hickory Grove.
It's somewhat wooded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a very wooded area. So, and I don't remember the dates of this. I should, but I'm going to say it was probably in the 1950s.
Okay, so that's the same time period.
Same time as the
Mothman, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say the 1950s. Somebody can call me and correct me on this.
All right.
In that area, there appeared a beast.
A beast.
A beast.
Mm.
And so this beast would attack dogs and livestock.
Oh, so this was an actual threat.
This was an actual threat, and they would find the carcass of whatever animal had been attacked, and it would not have blood in it. It would have been blood. So it was a vampire beast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so there were stories of people encountering this beast.
Okay.
And being chased back into the house, or animals being killed. And so this went on for a little while until it gained national attention.
No,
national attention. And so one of the things that happened was a famous hunter at the time and his famous hunting dogs came down there to track what was now being called the Beast of Bladenboro.
This is Bladenboro?
Bladenboro.
Okay.
Yeah, Bladen County.
The beast?
The town is Bladenboro.
Is this a four-legged beast?
Four-legged beast, we think. We thought for everybody that knew. Yeah.
So we have witnesses.
Yes. People saw the aftermath. I don't know that anybody ever saw the beast.
I mean, they were running into their house. They must have seen something if they were...
Right. They saw something, but no pictures, no clear...
This is starting to sound like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah, so right. So then I have the original Carolina Farmer magazine.
All right.
Who did a story on this beast.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Why isn't it in front of us?
Because I should have followed that. Maybe we can do a follow-up episode. But so I've got the original Carolina Farmer who did the story on it.
Okay.
But it gets better because I know some of the inside information on this because a lot of people started going into the swamps.
Looking for
the beast to a point that I don't remember if it was the sheriff or the mayor got concerned that someone was going to get hurt. And so
these swamps, tell me about these swamps. Can you walk through them or are they deep water swamps?
It depends on how much rain has happened, but you can walk through them at times. I've seen times when they're super dry, but they dug canals into them to log them.
All right.
And so one of the things they would do behind my granddad's land is log. And so there's a canal that runs through it and it's like a river. But they used to use that canal to log.
And so that partially drained the swamp too.
Partially drained the swamp, yeah. But, but there's times when you can't walk back in there.
And they're probably logging cypress.
I don't know what they were logging at the time. Maybe cypress.
I bet you it is cypress there.
And of course now you can't cut cypress knees and all that kind of stuff. You can still cut cypress trees, I guess, but
that's
that's another episode.
Worried about people walking through the swamp.
Yeah. So you can go through the swamps. But anyway, so people are in the swamps hunting.
No reports though of people getting attacked by the Beast of Bladensboro.
I don't think there was one woman that got scared back into her house one night because something was happening at the edge of the property. But I don't think she was that. Yeah.
Stories of a beast.
Yeah.
I hear something, I'm gonna run inside.
Yeah, so that's it's hit this. But one of my grandfathers, both of my grandfathers lived in the area. So the one that lived in town, his friend ran the movie theater in town. And so coincidentally, about this time, he decided to run a movie called The Black Cat, which was about this beast that would run around sucking the blood out of animals. So that's kind of stoked what was going on a little bit.
So he ran the movie
during
the
hype.
So the hype had already started.
The hype already started.
Now we got this movie.
Now you got the movie out down at the Juanette.
This sounds like some good marketing.
Yeah. So the movie's playing. People are in the swamps looking. This famous guy down there with his hunting dogs looking for it. So things are starting to get a little bit out of hand. Now, again, this is back in 1950. All this is stories that I've been told and what I read in the Carolina Farmer.
Right.
I mean, it's also in one of the North Carolina history books.
Really?
Yeah. One of our relatives was taking a course, I don't remember who, and read about the story in the North Carolina history books that for the course she was taking.
All right. So this is pretty serious.
Yeah. So they decided, so everybody's going in there, and there was someone who killed the beast of Bladenboro.
Was it the famous hunter?
It was not. It was my other grandfather.
It was your grandfather?
Yes. And so he, in the history books,
in the history books?
Yes, that he killed this bobcat. And
bobcat?
It was this bobcat. And I think I'm getting these details right. And so whoever, the mayor or whatever, said, here's the beast.
Okay.
And we're shutting it down. We got it. But the legend goes that the beast is still
there,
out there somewhere.
They were just saying it.
So they decided to shut all this down.
Okay.
This one was killed. Somebody else killed something too. There was 2 animals killed, but my granddad killed one of them. They shut down the beast of Bladenboro, and then it just goes into lore. But now recently they have revived it, and there's a Beast of Bladenboro festival. Just like the Mothman Festival, yeah. And so they have like a 5K and a parade and T-shirts.
This is it, man.
Right. So an ecryptic here in North Carolina, a cryptid right here in North Carolina that my grandfathers were involved with.
So what's the backstory?
What nobody knows.
What's the backstory that you know?
Oh well, I knew that one of my grandfather's friends ran the Black Cat at the theater, right. and then of course my other grandfather killed one of the beasts of Bladenboro, or killed the beast of Bladenboro. And so yes, I have 2 connects. I knew those 2 little tidbits.
Have you ever been to the festival?
I've never been to the festival.
I mean, you're a blood relative of the person who killed the beast of Bladenboro.
I know. I should have.
You might be royalty at this at this festival. Is there a museum?
There's not a museum.
What about some kind of website? There's got to be a website.
There's probably a website. I have not looked. But there is a festival though for it. And so you'd have T-shirts. But I will tell you.
Would they have pint glasses?
They would not have pint glasses. It's probably Dry County. I will tell you, as a kid, knowing that story, because I heard both my granddads talk about it.
All right.
Knowing that story and going into the swamps at night, it is very unnerving.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well,
going there.
I don't like going this. Before I heard anything about the beast of Bladenboro, I mean, the whole idea of the swamp just doesn't sound
right
appealing. I mean, you think about, okay, I mean, you see these folks wading in the water in a swamp.
Yeah.
Oh, in their bare feet.
Well, you can. Oh, you mean like when they're doing those noodling things?
Well, whatever they're doing in the swamp, they shouldn't be doing it. I mean, it's...
Well, you had a swimming hole back in the swamp on the canal. So we would swim in there.
Really?
And my dad grew up swimming back in there, and his brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Just, what's at the bottom of these swamps?
Well, in this particular swamp, it's really beautiful because all these leaves fall down into it. And so the water looks like tea. This is beautiful. So it's not muddy.
Right. It's stained.
It's tannin.
Right.
It looks like
coffee.
Tea. Just beautiful brown.
And tea is beautiful?
Yeah. Just like, it's just got that just a hue to it. And so this water that's running through there's just got this really pretty hue to it. And so the bottom is always soft.
You said a lot of things that don't sound right to me.
Yeah. There's another story about the swamp, and this is a true story. Well, both these stories are true. My dad was fishing in the swamp one time.
All right.
And his wedding ring slid off his finger and into the swamp. And the swamp was high. So there was a lot of water in the swamp. So they were in the canal fishing. He and his brother were. Ring slid off his finger into the swamp. Some months later, they were back fishing in the same area. And they got to talking about it, and my uncle reached down and pulled back, like down into the water. Now, the swamp's low at this point.
Okay.
It's much lower. He reaches down, rakes back a big thing of leaves underwater, and finds the ring. I know that don't sound right, but that
don't sound right. That sounds like the words of wisdom I have for today.
What's your words for wisdom?
The words of wisdom I have for today comes from, I think it's from Jack Handy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that?
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I remember.
The words of wisdom are, if you drop your keys into an active volcano, let them go, man, because they're gone.
They're gone. Yeah, he found this ring. I want to say it was like a year later.
Oh, that's even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, sure did. Strange things happen in the swamp, man.
Yeah, man. Well, and that was all called Big Swamp?
I think that part of the swamp would be called the Big Swamp. Yeah. So it's beautiful. You would enjoy it.
All right.
Enjoy it. Yeah. So there's pockets back in there. So where there's just
wait. Why would I enjoy it?
just
I don't
fish.
know why. I'm gonna say, for those who are listening, I'm nodding my head in agreement that I would enjoy it, but I don't.
I think you would
Now
enjoy
I'm shaking my. Why would I enjoy the swamp?
fishing. You would enjoy fishing. Because you're a fisherman.
I am a fisherman.
You would enjoy fishing. They have a fish in there particularly like catching.
What's that?
And it's called a jack.
I've heard of jack.
Yeah, the official name is a chain pickerel.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it is
They're called jack. Really?
Jack.
All right.
It is a fun fish to catch.
They got teeth, don't they?
They have teeth.
Yeah.
And so I used to fish for those with my granddaddy, and I would love, that was my favorite fish to catch because they would fight and fight and fight. Yeah. So yeah, you would enjoy the fishing part.
All right. Well, you'll have to give me a tour down there. We'll go fishing in the swamp.
The hard part is bugs.
Well, I was going to say, like, is there any time of the year you can go down there without bugs?
No, not much. In the fall, maybe, once it turns cold.
All right.
So yeah,
winter.
Yeah, winter.
And then the fish aren't biting.
Right. But yeah, during the summer, the bugs can get kind of tight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I think you have come up against another. I can't talk.
You're at the end.
I've lost my ability
to talk. Believe it or not, Cecil.
Yeah, believe it or not, you've come to the end of another
your story.
I've run out of both stories about the swamp.
Well, before we close, just want to recognize a few people. Again, want to recognize our chief audio and studio musician. That's Cecil.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks. Our logo designs by Emily Gilman, and our web practitioner is Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
We're pretty low overhead type of operation.
We are. If you're a sound engineer and you can work for beer, you may want to talk to us.
You might.
Yeah.
It's still pretty sketchy.
It's still pretty sketchy. That's what we need. We need people to figure out how to promote the show.
Maybe that's really our next step, isn't it?
Right. So if you know how to promote the show.
When our friends don't know we have a show.
Right. Yeah, when people that know us pretty well don't know that we have a show, we need help.
Maybe. And they would probably just say, Cecil.
What's that?
Just tell the people you know.
Yeah, just tell your people. Well, I try to let it come up naturally. Is what I do. I try, what's happened with us. Like one of the things we talk about now is the podcast.
Right.
And so, I don't want to be the guy that when you get ready to go to lunch, everybody's like, oh, he's going to talk about the podcast.
Oh, I see. I see.
That's my fear.
Right. But I don't think you have to worry about that.
Why's that?
Because you never talk about it.
All right. I've gone in the opposite direction.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I think
I've gone in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have the chance to want to promote us on your social media, that
anywhere,
would be great.
Yeah.
The other question I get asked a lot is how many listeners do we have?
What are we up to, you think? What would be estimation?
Well, I think we have a solid core of listeners. And then I think we have another group that's like starting at the beginning and coming through.
Yeah.
Because the earlier episodes are gaining listeners.
People are still listening to them.
Yeah, people are still listening to the early episodes.
Right.
And so I think we have those two things. I think we have our solid core of listeners, and then we have a group that's coming up through the ranks.
Yeah. Which
is great. And I know we've picked up new listeners because people have come up to me and said, hey, I finally found out that you have a show after a year.
It's pretty astonishing.
Yeah. And have started listening. So,
all right.
Yeah, thank each and every one of you that listen. Thank you. And if you would promote us on your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever.
We have to figure out the TikTok deal.
I think we should do TikTok.
Yeah, I do too. We just need to figure out how to do the best way to do it.
Because right now we have a website. And we have Instagram, we have the podcast.
Facebook.
We
have email.
If we could add TikTok and YouTube. I think YouTube's the other.
Oh, YouTube, man. That's a whole nother. Well, YouTube and TikTok is, getting into video. You want to put these mugs?
Well, we don't, but they'll put a logo up and you could listen to it. It's like some people just listen to their podcast through YouTube with no video.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I've had someone approach me and say, hey, if you guys were on the YouTube platform, I would listen.
Well, let's figure out how to do that.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to do that.
But in the meantime,
keep talking.
And stay curious.